everybody. We're just going to go through a little flow. It doesn't have any chaturanga dandasanas in it, and it does a little bit of restorative sequencing at the end of it. So let's begin at the back of our mat. Pressing your feet down, feeling the four corners of your feet, lifting your insteps. Lifting up through the pelvic floor and squeezing the lower belly towards the midline. Finding that Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Lengthening the spine and pressing down the feet as you lift up through the top of the head, but relax the shoulders. Press your hips forward, engage your quadriceps. Stand tall, stand well. Place hands to heart center and feel your presence. And set your intention for your day. Reach the arms up over your head. And then inhale. Exhale, bend the knees if you need to as you fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Engaging the bandhas. And then walk yourself out to a down dog. Pressing hands into the ground, lifting sits bones up. Lift up in the belly and squeezing the pelvic floor. Feeling the presence of the stretch or the sensation of stretch on the whole back side of the body. Index finger mound is pressing into the floor. Then shift your weight forward and find a high plank as you press the floor away from the ground. Your hands away from the floor. Your shoulder blades are protracted as you go forward, engaging the quadriceps. Come back into that down dog. Maybe paddle out the feet if you like. Keep the belly lifted in that Uddiyana Bandha as you lift the heels and maybe drop to the right. If you want more, just bend the right knee. Keep on pressing the index finger mound into the ground. Come back to the center line and let the heels drop to the left. Maybe bending the left. Shifting your weight forward. Again, finding that high plank. And then coming back into a turbo dog. Shifting your weight forward, finding floating table. And then gently lowering your knees down to the ground. Reach your arms forward for Anahata Asana. If this is not possible, yogis, just place your forehead on the mat and bring your hands in for Prasad. And sliding yourself down onto your belly, bringing your hands right underneath your deltoids, pressing feet, hips, hands down into the mat, chin on the mat. Keep your elbows or your arms close to your body, fingers stay on the ground. So again, ground your hands, your hips, and your feet into the floor. Look up with your eyes as you keep your elbows close to the body, just lifting the chest up, maybe coming up towards the belly button, but press hips, feet, hands down, and with your eye gaze, look up for Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower. And do that again. Inhale, come up with your eyes. Your eyes lift your whole torso up. And then lower back down. One more, inhale. then exhale, lower. Tucking your toes underneath you. Press yourself back into Vinyasa or child's pose. Reminding yourself of the intention that you set. Coming back onto all fours. Let the belly drop, lift the head, inhale. And tuck the chin towards the chest and round your spine on the exhale. Again, let the belly drop, lift the head, inhale. And then tuck your chin towards the chest and round your spine on the exhale. Find a nice neutral spine for you, yogis. And tucking the toes underneath you, finding your downward dog. Lift your chin and look at your hands. Lift your heels and take a walk to the front of your mat, lifting up in your belly the whole time. Don't move your hands, yogis. Move your feet so that they try to match up with your hands, and bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, come up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bending the knees if you need to. Press feet down. Inhale, root to rise. Find yourself in Urdhva Hastasana. Palms touch over your head. Press feet down. Lift hands up away from your face. Hands to heart center. And find your Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, folding forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant your palms and just walk into a plank. Pressing hands into the ground. Press the floor away from you as you protract those shoulder blades for this high plank. Engage your quadriceps. Bending the knees to touch the mat. Let's come into a series of cat-cow. Finding a neutral spine. Tucking toes underneath you, and on an exhale, lift your hips up for down dog. Swiping that right leg back into a three-legged dog, yogis. Make sure that that right hip is not externally rotating. Engage both of your quadriceps and lift your belly up into the spine. Elevate the right heel from the mat, pressing your index finger mound down. Bring the right knee to your nose for Nasasana. And extend it back for three-legged dog. And find your down dog. And notice everything about you. Left leg sweeps back for a three-legged dog. Elevate the pose and bring your left knee to your nose. Extend it back for three-legged dog. And find your down dog. Elevate the pose, lifting both heels. Picking up your feet and fire walk to the front of your mat. Don't move your hands, yogis. Move your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, graze the ground, and come into Utkatasana. Hands to heart center and straighten your legs. Pass through Tadasana and then come into Samastitihi. Bend your knees, graze the ground. Inhale, come into Utkatasana. Hands to heart center. Keep your knees bent and then Reach your hands back for a variation of Utkatasana, Ardha Utkatasana. Lift the heels and float. Lower the heels down, bring hands to heart center. Fold forward, plant your palms and walk back into that plank. Shifting your weight forward, yogis. Bending the knees. Give me a cat-cow series here. Find a neutral spine and then come into your down dog. Right leg sweeps back into its own alignment, yogis. Don't change a thing. There's nothing to change. Elevate the pose and bring your right knee to your nose and find Nasasana. Keep on bringing that knee forward in between your thumbs. And then hover it for a second as you lower the shin down gently. Make sure that everything is rolling in towards the midline and find a little back bend of your choice. Framing that right knee with your hands, tuck the back toes underneath you. Lift the right knee up to your nose and then extend it back for three-legged dog. Find your down dog. Left leg sweeps back, yogis. Elevate the pose, bring knee to nose for Nasasana. Keep on bringing that left knee forward towards the front of your mat. Hover. Lower. And then find the back bend. Framing the foot, or the knee, tuck the back toes underneath you. Bring the left knee into the chest as you extend the leg back to three-legged dog. Finding your down dog. Look at your feet, yogis, and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Bending your knees as much as you need to. Make it accessible for you. Open out your feet the distance of your hips and grab a hold of your big toes. Exhale, fold. And we'll just come out to the side and then pull them close and up. Breathe. Roll forward towards the balls of your feet. Release your bind. And then slide your hands underneath your feet for Padahastasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Release your bind, yogis, and walk back to that downward dog. Index finger mound, pressing into the floor. Sweep the right leg back into a three-legged dog. Elevate the pose, bring knee to nose. Step on that right foot and bend the left knee. Keeping your left hand down, reach the right arm up. And just twist. Make sure that you bring that right knee in towards the midline. Shoulders should be in one line. Just try for that. And reach, yogis. Take another breath. Tuck the back toes underneath you as you extend the back leg and reach the right arm towards the right side. Spin on the blades of your feet and reach the right arm over your head towards whatever's in front of you. Look down with your gaze to your right foot. Plant your right hand down and then square everything off by placing your right foot back on the ground for a right side lunge. Turn to the left and find a separate leg position. Inhale and then fold forward. Let's come into Prasarita D, grabbing a hold of your big toes. And then fold forward. Bending the knees, yogis, as much as you need to. Release your bind, yogis. Inhale, come up halfway. And then turn towards the right, finding that right side lunge, framing your right foot with your hands. Sweeping that right leg back into that three-legged dog. Lower down for down dog. Left foot sweeps back. Elevate the pose and bring your left knee to your nose. Flex the foot and step on it, bending the right knee down. Keep the right hand on the ground as you lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Bringing the left knee in towards the midline, squeezing everything in. Tuck the back toes underneath you and extend the back leg and reach that left arm to the left or behind you. Spin on your blades of your feet as you reach the top arm over your head. Looking down at your left foot, frame it, step on it, and then spin to the right and finding a separate leg stretch. Let's keep the hands forward, yogis, and just try to get the forearms to the ground. If it's possible for you, bend the knees as much as you need to and roll towards the first part of your feet, right underneath your big toe, the big toe mound, the metatarsals, engaging your quadriceps. If your knees are bent, just lift up in the belly and find the sensation of stretch. Inhale, half lift. And then spin again to the left, finding that left side lunge. Beautifully. And then reach that left leg back, finding your three-legged dog. Finding your down dog. Take 2 deep breaths here, pressing your index finger mound down. Look in between your hands and just step your right foot in between your hands as you spin to the left. So we were here before. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Right arm is going to come underneath left. So elbows cross, wrists cross, palms try to touch each other. Bring elbows down as you sit down. So there's a chair behind me. It's kind of far away from me, but it's like I'm going to try to sit on the tip of that chair as I lift my chest. So there's no tucking of the tail. It's not such a great cue. So stay as low as you can as you bring the right leg up and over the left, bringing shoulders and hips maybe a little bit more in line. Elbows and knees are in the midline in this pose. If you can hook that right foot, do that. If not, just point the right foot towards the direction of the left ankle. Slide back towards your left heel and bring the right hip point back. Lift your chest, yogis, and take another breath. So press your left foot down into the ground. Keep the bind as you lift the right knee up towards your elbows. Take a breath. Engage the left quadricep. Now extend that right leg back for a three-legged dog variation. Whoop, move the chair. Sorry, warrior 3 variation. Squaring everything off. And then bring the right knee back in towards the elbows. Lift it up. Pressing the right foot down. Lift up through the top of your head. And then unbind your arms. Take a breath. Let the leg drop down. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhale, fold. Walking back out to that prasarita. Turn towards the right. Right side lunge. Sweeping that right leg back for three-legged dog. Down dog. Left leg sweeps back. Just step on it and then turn. To the right. Bringing your left foot to meet your right foot at the edge of the mat. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, and then come all the way up to standing. Left arm comes underneath right, elbows cross, wrists cross, palms touch. Sit down into the chair. And so you're going to pick up the left leg and cross it over the right. Come back towards your right heel and bring the left hip back or left femur bone into the socket. Lift your chest, yogis. Try to get your shoulders and your hips in one line. Press your right foot down as you lift the left knee up. It's kind of an eagle stork. Then let your body hinge forward at the hip as you kick that left leg back for warrior 3 variation with eagle arms. Lifting up in the belly. Press the right foot down. Bring the left knee into the chest. Take a moment. And then release that. Arms up. Step out. Fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Turn to the left. Sweeping that left leg back. Finding your down dog. And take a breath here, yogis. Spinning the left foot to the left. Step the right foot in between your hands and find a warrior 1 variation. So you could stagger that back foot if you need to, but try to get your hands together, shoulders and hips forward, bending the front knee and lifting your sternum. Bringing hands to heart, shifting that front foot a little bit so it's in front of the arch of the back foot, coming into a warrior 2. And then bring your left arm forward. Find a high plank position by bringing the right leg back and shift your weight forward and find that high plank. And then find your down dog. Spin that right foot to the right and step the left foot in between your hands, finding your warrior 1. Bringing hands to heart center, shifting that left foot if needed, coming into your warrior 2 variation. Bringing the back arm forward, coming into your high plank by bringing the left leg back, shifting your weight forward, lifting in the belly, bending the knees, then coming into a child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here, yogis. And if you need to use a bolster or a block or anything you need for this next section, we're going to do some psoas stretches, and I like to do them on a bolster or a block. So I'm just going to place the bolster in the middle of my mat, or a block. You could use a block, and I'm going to actually sit on top of that. I'm going to use my hands to guide me down onto the floor. So my pelvis or my butt is on the bolster. I'm going to bring my right knee into the chest and just make little circles with it and try to coax it into its opening. But really the intention is to stretch this hip flexor on this leg. So I'm going to straighten this left leg as much as I can, and I'm pulling the right knee up towards the armpit or towards the shoulder, the chest, or whatever is accessible for you. Take a couple of breaths here. And then release that, yogis, and let's come back to the other side, which is the left leg. I'm going to bring it up towards my chest. Coax it around a little bit, you know. So as much as you can, you want to stay on the bolster so your lower back doesn't arch very much, or the blocks. Now remember that I'm trying to get into the psoas, the iliopsoas, so I do want to start to lengthen this bottom leg. And I know that if this knee bends a lot, then there's some tension on this psoas. And this is what this exercise is for, is to stretch or lengthen. I don't like to use the word stretch very much, but to lengthen the psoas. And so as with anything else, yogis, we don't make any judgments about anything. We just notice sensation when it's happening and we observe it. We become the witness of that sensation without any judgment whatsoever. And then release that. Good, yogis. Take a breath. Press your feet into the ground. Yeah. And just lift your hips a little bit. Lower the hips down and extend both legs towards the edge of your mat. And if this is too much extension for your spine, bring your feet back in. You could do this on a block as well. So this one we really want to get onto the sacrum a little bit more. And I know that a lot of people have some degeneration or destabilization of their sacrum, and that might not be such a great idea, right? A derangement, and what we call sacroiliac derangement. But if you're not that person, try to find your extension. You could always come into half bridge if you'd like. We do need to find our extension, even if it's slight. Everyone's going to be different in their range of motion in the bones, especially the bones of the spine or the joints, the articulating joints in the body. There are no two people that are going to be the same. But we do need to move in all the ranges of motion. We need to move our spine. We need to flex it, extend it, laterally bend it from right to left. We need to internally and externally rotate, and we also need to find axial extension. Take a couple more breaths. If you'd like to come into a Viparita Karane on the block or on the bolster, great. If you want to remove the bolster for that and come into Viparita, or some people call it waterfall, right? Plow, shoulder stand, or happy baby, whichever you choose. Even if I'm looking at my chair here, and I'm jonesing to do a constructive rest. So you could even use the chair in a constructive rest position, right? Relaxing your arms to the side or wherever it is that you need to put them. This is also a beautiful pose, right? A couple more deep breaths if you're in shoulder stand or in halasana. If you did choose to come into shoulder stand or any other inversion, please find the appropriate counter pose. If you were in shoulder stand or halasana, please come into fish or full wheel. If you were in headstand, please find a child's pose or Vinyasa. Just try to come back to this place And as we meet each other on the mat, just bring your right knee into your chest, extending the left leg. And bring that right knee down towards the level of your hip and then cross it over to the left side. Don't force yourself to do any kind of twisting. If you feel any destabilization of the spine, please don't twist. And then coming back towards the midline, and then releasing that. Let's do the other side, bringing the left knee into the chest, and then lowering that knee to the hip level, right, to your level of the hip, and then take that leg and cross it over. Finding a revolved belly twist. Good, and bringing both knees into your chest and giving yourself a big hug. So as we prepare ourselves for the most important pose in the practice, just find a space that's comfortable for you, yogis. So I like to put bolsters underneath my knees, but you could lie on your side, you could be on your back, you could be on your belly. Some people like to sit up, whatever that is for you. So all the poses that we do in yoga really lead us to this place of savasana or shavasana, or however you were taught to say it. This is the most important pose. And especially in these times, we really need to reconnect with our spaces. So lie back, relax as much as you can. Take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose. And then open your mouth and let go. And do that again. Inhale. And open your mouth and let go. And then do that one more time. Inhale. Open your mouth and let go. And just let yourself sink into the floor, yogis. And find your space and find your stillness. Meet yourself where you are, which is the most important place to be. Yoga is not about the asana. It's about clearing the spaces so that you can find your stillness and that you can be with that thing that you believe to be good. And so you could remember who you are. In these times of stress and uncertainty, we always need to come back to this place and know that everything is good, even though it might appear on the outside not to be so. Stay as long as you like, yogis. Satnam and Namaste.